All right. Now, oh man. Okay, there we go. So yesterday we learned how to graph using your calculator, and I always think that's super duper important because if you forget, I don't even mind if you double check things with your calculator. However, today, all right, we're going to teach you how to graph just using some formulas. All right, and again, it's really, really, really simple, really simple. All right. So the first thing I want everybody to do is I want everybody to write at the top of the page. All right. I want everybody to write down y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. All right. Now, remember, a is the number in front of the x squared, b is the number in front of the x, and c is the constant. All right. So when I'm looking at question number 1, all right, underneath number 1, I want someone to tell me what a is.
A is x.
1. What is b?
We don't know what it is.
0. Thank you, whoever said that. And c, of course, is what? -5. All right. So now, step number 1. All right. I want everyone to be able to tell me AOS. What does that mean? The axis symmetry. All right. So to find the axis symmetry, it's always x equals -b over 2a. That's the axis of symmetry. -b over 2a. So in this case, what is b?
1.
So it's -0 over 2 times what's a? 1. Beautiful. So what's 0 divided by anything? 0. So the axis of symmetry is just x equals 0. The axis of symmetry is just x equals 0. What? All right, here we go. So now everybody take a highlighter, make the highlight big enough so you can see it. All right, and we're going to graph x equals 0. Now x equals 0 is just a vertical line. All right. That's the axis symmetry. So then I want everybody to come up here and write axis of symmetry. And AOS is perfectly fine, but I want to make sure you're comfortable with that. So now, after you do step number 2, we're going to find the vertex. And the vertex is 0, or not 0, but it's -b over 2a, comma, f of -b over 2a. Now that looks really complicated, and I'm going to break it down for you so it's really simple. All right. This just means the x coordinate of the axis of symmetry, which in this case is what? 0, comma, and then what this means is you just plug 0 into the equation. So y equals 0 squared minus 5. Y equals -5. So in this case, the vertex is 0, comma, -5. Now you might want to make yourself a note and say, plug into equation. And that'll tell you the y value. All right. Plug 0 into the equation. So I ended up with 0, -5. That's the vertex. So now I want everybody to go and we're going to make it so you can see it. We're plotting 0, -5. So there's 0, -5. Now, step number 3. Is to find the Y-intercepts. And the Y-intercept is real easy. It's just 0, C. The Y-intercept is always 0, C. Well, in this case, the Y-intercept is what? Yes, whoever said that's brilliant. The Y-intercept is the vertex. The Y-intercept is the vertex. I just plug 0 into the equation. 0 squared minus 5 is still -5. So this right here is a problem. All right, the reason why I say it's a problem is because I'm supposed to have 2 different points, but in this case, I only have what? 1. All right, so I have to find a third point. All right, I'm sorry, I have to find a second point, all right, because the vertex and the Y-intercept are the same. So to find a new point, I just want to find when x equals 1. Just plug 1 in. All right, when I plug 1 in, y equals x squared minus 5. Y equals 1 minus 5. So y equals what? -4. So the point 1, -4 is on the graph. So now everybody graph 1, -4. Over 1, down 4. Is everybody with me right here? Now, because that point is on the graph, how far away am I from the axis of symmetry? 1 unit. What does that mean? That means there's another point exactly the same distance away. So this over here is also what? A point on the graph. Now you just need 3 points to graph the parabola or the quadratic. So from there, you just graph the general shape looks like this. All right, and that's that. All right, so I know that was a lot. All right, that's why we're going to do it again and again and again and again. All right, and you'll get the hang of it. The most important thing is this -b over 2a. That's the formula to find the vertex, -b over 2a. All right. So now, question number 2. All right, y equals -2x squared plus 8. So I want everybody to go ahead and write down, what does a equal? Does anybody remember what I said about when that's negative, what does the graph do?
It
Opens down. All right, so that one's going to open down. What's b again? And what's c? Beautiful. So here we go. Number 1, everybody's going to write down x equals -b over 2a. And what's -b? 0 over 2 times -2. So it's just going to be what? 0 again. So AOS, x equals 0. So here we go. We're going to take this, draw x equals 0 again. Everybody happy with that? Then plug 0 in to find the vertex. So number 2, y equals -2 times 0 squared plus 8. So y equals what? What is what? Yes, thank you. Y equals 8. So the vertex is located at what? 0, 8. So now everybody graph 0, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. That's the vertex. And this is the axis of symmetry. All right. Now, step number 3, what is the y-intercept? Remember, the y-intercept, just put 0, comma, c. The y-intercept is always 0, comma, c. So it's the same thing. So we have a slight problem here. All right. So because I have a slight problem, I now just have to pick another point. What's the easiest number to plug in? 1. So now we're going to do y equals -2 times 1 squared plus 8. What? Well, because whenever these two numbers are the same, you have to find another point, right? So what point on the graph do you want to find? You can check whatever one you want. You could pick 2 or 5 or -10 or 100.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but the easiest point to select is 1, right? So I just plug 1 in. So y equals 1 squared is 1 times -2. -2 plus 8. So 6. So a point on the graph is 1, comma 6. So now everybody graph 1, 6. Now, how far away am I from the axis symmetry? 1. So that means I have to go 1 on the other side of the axis symmetry. And there are the points, which brings us to the graph. What? From the equation. Right? We're plugging it back into the original equation. All right. Now, everybody do me a favor. Just take out your calculator. Right? Type in number 1, type in number 2, and just double check and verify that that looks good. That looks accurate. And then we're going on. All right. Everybody's just practicing. X squared minus 5, hit graph, look at it. Then type in -2x squared plus 8, and then graph it and see if it looks right. All right. What's that? All right, anybody else have any issues? Anybody else have any issues? Now, remember what I told you, I really can't help you if you never ask me any questions. So some of you keep sitting there at your desk and you pretend like you're doing something. All right, if you're not with me, I can't help you. All right, so here we go. Remember, the objective is try to get it done. So here we go. Let's take a look. Everybody's looking at number 3 now. All right, so which direction is this graph opening, up or down? Thank you. Everybody should kind of say, okay, I know it's opening down. All right, so here we go, guys. Come on now. This is the first one that's going to kind of require a little bit more. So step number 1, everybody is writing AOS colon. What is the formula for Axe symmetry? Thank you. -b over 2a. So x equals negative. What is the b value? 4 over -4. So the axis of symmetry is x equals 1. So now everybody go graph x equals 1. This time, x equals 1 is my highlighter right there. Anybody have any issues with that? X equals 1. Anybody? All righty. From there, step number 2. All you do is you plug 1 into the equation. So y equals -2 parentheses 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 3. Now let's do our mental math here. Y equals, what's 1 squared? 1 times -2. -2 plus 4 plus 3. That equals 5. So the vertex is located at 1, 5. The vertex is located at 1, 5. Anybody have any issues? What? Okay, that is the original equation. I'm plugging, someone asked me that earlier. I'm using this equation right here to plug 1 in. You with me? I'm plugging 1 in for x. All right, here we go. So now graph 1, 5. Now step 3. What is the y-intercept? 0, 3. So now plot that point because it's different. What do you mean? 0, c. That is absolutely 100% correct. And thank you for asking. Do you see what I'm saying, right? The y-intercept. And again, that's why I should have just made the note here. All right. Again, the y-intercept is step number 3. And I said the y-intercept is always 0, c. So in this case, it was 0, what? Because the c value is 3, right? So now everybody's graphing 0, 3. And now what? You just draw 1 on the other side. And then you are graphing it. And now everybody go to their calculator. Y equals. And then type in -2x squared plus 4x plus 3. And see if that looks the same. Now, what we're going to do is just a review from yesterday. Let's say I want to find the vertex. So now if I want to calculate the vertex, you have to hit second. And then you hit calc. And then you go down to, is this a maximum or a minimum? Then you hit max. Then, does everybody remember, you move your cursor to the what? Left. And then you move your cursor to the right. Then you hit enter. And then it should come up as 1, 5 is the maximum. Yep, so we talked about rounding, correct? I say that's the one flaw that I would change in the calculator. All right, does anybody have any questions or concerns? All right, so now we've done 3. All right, so we should be getting a little better. So let's take a look now at number 4. Here we go. Does this open up or down? Up. All right, so here we go. Step number 1. AOS colon X equals, what's the formula? -b over 2a. What is b? -6 over, well, yes, you're correct. All right, but I was emphasizing negative b. All right, so then this just becomes what? 6 over 2, thank you very much, 3. So the axe symmetry, x equals 3. So now everybody take your highlighter and graph x equals 3. Come on, guys, I think this is easy, but it's a pattern, all right? You just got to practice, same thing over and over. Now, after we find the vertex, what do I have to do? Plug it in. So here we go. Step number 2, I'm looking for the vertex. So 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 1. 9 minus 18 minus 1. And so he said y equals, so the vertex is 3 comma negative 10. So graphing 3, negative 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is everybody with me on that? So let's just extend that down a little bit. Does everybody see that? 3, negative 10, right? Okay, step number 3. What is the Y-intercept?
0, negative.
Yes, 0, negative 1. So everybody graph 0, negative 1. How far away am I from the axis of symmetry? 3, right? So because I am 3 units away, I must move what? Right, there we have it, guys, just like that. Now we're going to sketch the graph. And then, of course, everybody's going to go to y equals and do x squared minus 6x minus 1. And double check and see if that's the same. Now remember, there's nothing I can do when I say, what's the axis symmetry on the test, and you can't tell me it's negative b over 2a. Does everybody understand? There's just nothing I can do for you. And how do you find the vertex? You take that answer and you plug it into the equation. That's how you find the vertex. Then the y-intercept is 0c. Then you use the axis of symmetry. That's how simple it is. But it is an impossible task, believe it or not, for most kids. Impossible. All right. So here we go, guys. Let's keep going. Let's get this done. How many questions are there? 8. Okay. So we're halfway done. Let's see what we got here. All right. So here we go. A, O, S. By the way, does this open up or down?
Opens down.
Opens down. All right. So X equals negative B over 2A. What am I looking like here? Which is? Anybody else get negative 1?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. So now we're going to graph Y equals negative 1. You're right. X equals negative 1. So we're graphing X equals negative 1. Now let's plug negative 1 in for step 2. What is it?
Negative 2.
Negative 2?
Yeah.
Anybody else get negative 2? So then the vertex is what?
I got 60. Negative 3 minus 6 is negative 9 plus 7. You're multiplying another negative.
By negative 1.
Oh,
That's the problem.
no, that's, if you followed my notes, you made a mistake. I didn't put in the negative 1. Is everybody okay with that now? Gray, do you see?
Um,
Wait a minute. Now look, it's partly my fault because
There's no-
I looked at it and plugged in 1 when I should have plugged in what? So now it doesn't matter when you square it because it's still 1. All right, so this over here, negative times a negative makes that a positive. So that was my fault, if you were following my notes. So now we have what?
Now it's 16.
-3 plus 6.
3 times 10.
That's why I'm confused, why you're telling me 16.
I got -1. -1.
Is y 10 or not now?
Yes.
Right, does everybody agree it's 10?
Oh, yeah. So it's squared.
Right, it was definitely squared. So then the vertex is what? -1 comma 10. Does everybody agree? All right. So now if we graph that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, it's a little bit off the graph. That's okay though. Trimble, you doing all right? Max, how about you? All right, then from there, the y-intercept is 0, comma. That's correct. All right, so now everybody graph 0, 7. Be like right here. How far away am I?
1.
So I have to move 1 over here. Is everybody okay with that? And now we're going to graph just by dropping straight down. Dropping straight down. And now do me a favor and just graph that on your calculator again to make sure everything's correct. Is that looking good?
I might just typed it in wrong. But mine was like
We'll double check the way you typed it in. That's a good question. If this is a negative, it opens down. If it's positive, it opens up. Good question. All right, anybody else? Anybody else? All right, let's knock out number 6 now. All right, here we go. Come on, guys. You should be getting better. If you're taking the notes after 6 tries, you should be going, okay, I know. If you're sitting there not knowing, how can I help? Right? You have to write down the notes. All right, you don't just write it down and watch me do it and just fill in the numbers. If you're just filling things in, it's not helping. It's not helpful. You got to participate. Number 1. First of all, does it open up or down?
it would be shaped like this.
Up or down? Up. It opens up. Now, axis of symmetry. X equals -b over 2a. Beautiful. 4 over 2, which is just nice. Very nice. So here we go. We're graphing. X equals 2. All right, hold on. Let me see if you're correct here. Step 2 is you're finding the vertex. So I have y equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2. So I think he's correct. What was it? You forgot to do 2 squared. 4. 4 minus 8, -4. You agree with me?
Yeah.
So now my vertex is what? 2, -4. So now everybody graph 2, -4. Now step 3. Uh-oh. What's the y-intercept?
So it's 0.
Yes. 0, C, but C in this case is 0. So 0, comma, 0. So everybody's graphing 0, 0. How far away am I? So I just move what? 2 over. And there you have it. Now, honestly, guys, I tell kids every year, I just don't understand. I don't understand the difficulty. There's a formula. You're just using a couple formulas and you can graph the whole thing. Now you're supposed to go back and double check and make sure that's accurate though. Everybody's practicing your calculator. Y equals x squared minus 4x. Look at it. Then calculate the vertex. Second calc, minimum. Move it to the left, move it to the right. Now you do it both ways. Anybody have any issues? All right, here we go. Everybody take a look at 7. How much time do we have? Yeah, guys, come on. We are on good job. Good job today. Let's get done. No homework. It'd be nice. All right, now I tried to mess you up on number 7. What did I do? Yeah, it's not in the right order. We say standard form. So we're going to rewrite it. Negative 2x squared plus 8x plus 3. So yeah, switcheroo on you there. All right. Now, again, everybody writes number 1. AOS. X equals, because we're brilliant, we know it's negative b over 2a. So it's going to be negative 8 over negative 4, which is 2. So the Axe symmetry, x equals 2. So here we go, drawing x equals 2. Now, step 2 is finding the what? Vertex. So now plug 2 in. Is that right? I got 11. Does everybody agree? 11? All right. So now here we go. So I'm graphing 2, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What do you know? I fit it in this time properly. Okay. What's the Y-intercept? 0 what? 0, 3. Beautiful. So everybody go to 0, 3, plot the point. And then go over how many? Does everybody agree? I'm 2 units away from the Axe symmetry. So I'm going 2 units over. Everybody happy with that? And now what am I doing? Yeah, there you go. Check it now with your calculator. Now, does everybody understand the vertex is outside your window? So I'm going to teach you real quick how to extend your window. Go to your window, very nice, and go Y maximum, change it to like 15. All right, very good. Those of you guys who know that, window is how you control your X and your Y axis, and you make it whatever you want. No, it won't. All right, is everybody okay with this now? All right, last one, guys. Let's knock it out. We are done. All right, here we go. Axis of symmetry. Come on, help me. X equals negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. Now remember, if you're struggling a little bit, don't be afraid to write the formula each time. That'll help you. Negative b over 2a. Everybody good with that? All right, here we go. So now we're going to graph -3. Everybody good with this?
Yeah.
All right, now we need the vertex. Y equals parentheses -3 squared plus 6 times -3 plus 5. Uh-oh. You might be right. 9 minus 18 plus 5. What is it?
-4.
Yeah, -4. So my vertex is located at -3, -4.
Y-intercept is 0,5.
I don't know if y'all can see that.
Yeah.
Now the Y-intercept is what, guys? Come on now, 0,5. All right, now notice you're always counting to the Axe symmetry. How many away are we? So 1, 2, 3. Look how simple this is. Then type it into calculator and verify the vertex. All right, let me just say real quick again, guys, because I really don't want to give anybody a bad grade, and I don't want to give anybody any grief. All right, I can't help you any more than that. All right, if you're not writing the notes down, you should know, am I good at memorizing things or am I bad? Sit down and listen. If you're not good at memorizing things, you got to write more down. If you're good at memorizing things, then you don't have to write as much down. All right, it's just simply repetition. That's it. Same thing today. X equals -b over 2a. That's the vertex, or that's the Axe symmetry. Plug that in. That gives you the vertex. The Y-intercept is 0C, and draw the graph. And verify it with your what? Calculator. All right, verify it with your calculator. Now on your test, I'm not just going to let you say, well, I just plug everything in the calculator. You're going to have to show me the steps for the vertex and the Axe symmetry and those types of things. All right, hopefully you felt like today was super simple. All right. Tomorrow we have what's referred to as the parabola written in vertex form. All right, it's again super duper easy. Super easy. All right. If you're struggling, review your notes. Review your notes. When does the bell ring? In a minute. All right, so that's pretty good timing.